close my eyes. Have you ever considered the fact that you might be living in your own dream? The only reason you see black when you blink is because it's night where the other you lives. When you close your eyes here, you open your eyes there in another world, another universe. The complete opposite of here. You can't remember your own life, only a few fragmented and distorted images we call dreams. The closest we get to living our other life is when we enter each other's daydreams. October 2nd, 2016. I was sitting in math class, not paying attention to the teacher. I hadn't gone to bed until 3 AM last night. I should really stop putting off writing papers until the night before. My eyes started to feel heavy, like bags of sand were tied to the end of my eyelashes. I tried to blink myself awake, but my eyes closed. Almost as soon as they shut, I felt warm, like I was wrapped in soft fabric. I also felt annoyed and groggy. I could hear someone calling my name. My eyes snapped open and all the feelings of warmth disappeared. I looked around to see who's calling my name. I glanced at the teacher who was droning on about dividing fractions. I stayed awake the rest of the day, refusing to close my eyes, except to blink. That night I was exhausted. I sat down on my bed and almost immediately fell asleep. I closed my eyes only to see a bright light. My eyes snapped open to the darkness of my room. Had someone turned on the light? My door was still closed. I let my eyes close again, only to look upon a bright blue ceiling. That wasn't mine. I tried to open my eyes, but they were open. I looked around the room. It was all so familiar, like I had seen it 1,000 times. Which I had. This was my room. If this was my room in my house, what happened to my other room? I went and looked in the mirror. I seemed the same, except my pajamas. Since when did I wear nightgowns? October 3rd, 2016. Are you ready yet? You're going to be late. Don't sleep until 3 in the afternoon, like you did yesterday. I heard my mum yell from downstairs. Come in, I yelled. I quickly got changed and ran down the stairs into the kitchen. I looked around at my house. It was all so familiar, but strange, like someone had come in and changed all the little details. I walked into the kitchen, where my mum handed me a piece of toast. No eggs? I asked. Maybe if you had gotten up earlier, my mum replied. I stared at her. She seemed different too, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I had the weirdest dream, I said. It was so clear, like I was really there. I was at school. It was like just another day, but it was so real. I feel like I didn't sleep at all. My mum just shrugged her shoulders and ushered me out the door. I went to play practice and went the rest of the day thinking about my dream. It was like I'd been awake all night long. I was so tired. I got home and struggled through my homework. I decided to just skip dinner and go to bed early. October 3rd, 2016. My eyes snapped open to darkness. I looked over to the clock. 4 AM. Had I really slept that long? It didn't even feel like I had closed my eyes. I was still so tired. Then I noticed something. My clock said 4 a.m, October 3rd. It must be wrong. I had just lived through October 3rd. I went to play practice and everything. Wait. I wasn't in a play. Had it been a dream? No, I was awake. It was probably just wrong. I laid back down and closed my eyes, only to see my bright room. What? Had I forgotten to turn off the light? I looked at the clock. 4 p.m, October 3rd. What? How? I closed my eyes and saw my dark room. I ran to turn the light and looked in the mirror. My eyes were open. I closed them only to see my blue ceiling again. How was I seeing two different rooms? Now that I thought about it, I was remembering two lives, both mine but different. I went to the mirror and saw myself. I closed my eyes only to see myself in the mirror, but in different clothes and in another room, my room, but not the same as my other room. I closed my eyes again to see myself in the mirror. What was going on? October 7th, 2016. I lay on the floor of my room. I was so tired. I couldn't move. My entire body was struggling to even function. I needed to sleep. But was the weight on my eyelids got too heavy? I just opened my eyes to see my floor again in the other room, even more tired. I wish I could sleep, but I just kept waking up. I could only open my eyes. I tried turning off my lights, blindfolding myself, taking sleeping pills, but I could only wake up. I couldn't go on like this. A thought struck me. What if I died? Or one of me died? I thought about my lives. Which one did I like better? They were both similar. One was sports, the other was plays. One was pink, the other was black. I liked and hated both, but I honestly didn't care anymore. I somehow made my way to the kitchen and got a knife. I wasn't killing me, I was killing the other me. One of these was a dream, right? So it didn't matter which one died, but I didn't want to die. The other one should die. I opened my eyes and was still on my floor. I got to the kitchen and grabbed a knife. Yes, the other me should die. I kept going back and forth, trying to stab the other me. One of the wrists was slit on one of me. I had a deep cut in my leg, lying to the floor, bleeding out, and struggling with myself. I had to die. She had to die. I needed to sleep. November 13th, 2016. Straps held my wrists and legs in place. Drugs flooded my system to make me sleep, but I only kept opening my eyes. Another hospital, but the same drugs, the same straps. I was living in two hells. I had tried to swallow my tongue, so now I didn't have one. I still don't know how I find the energy to scream. I drift in between hospitals. If only I could close my eyes. Bedtime voices. Sleeping is often considered a luxury by many. I can understand why. You've had a long day at work, with your boss yelling at you about fucking up your reports. As you drive home, you get a flat tire, and the people in the traffic you've unintentionally created start yelling at you. When you finally get home, all you have to eat is some leftover seafood and bagged vegetables. After watching Wheel of Fortune reruns for the 1000th time, you finally arrive at your mattress. You change into your pajamas, most likely just a shirt and pajama bottoms. Maybe in the summer you're in boxers instead. The covers are then pulled back, making a weird scraping sound. You don't care. You're too tired to process how grating it could actually be. Then your head hits the pillow. If you have trouble sleeping, you might take some pills or go on your laptop and watch cat videos until you fall asleep. I, on the other hand, find falling asleep to be a personal hell. I hear him talking to me as I remember all the ways that I had fucked up earlier that day. I forgot to lock my apartment door before I went to work. Thankfully, no robbery had occurred. I accidentally spilled my coffee onto a co-worker. At least it had cooled down by then. However, he's still there. I hear his voice just criticising me. Of course, I could tell him to fuck off. He just gets more aggressive, violent in fact. He tells me to do things. Originally, they weren't that big. He wanted me to spew out minor insults to people I didn't give a shit about. I didn't really do it though. I didn't want to entertain him and have him gain control. Now though, he's taking advantage. He wants me to delete all social media, shut myself away from the world. He tells me to quit my job, since I'm already shit at following instructions. Tell my friends that I hate them. He wants me to lie for his own sadistic enjoyment. The night time is the worst. My mind is already bad enough, but being half asleep and already being destroyed by my own thoughts just makes me more vulnerable. It's easier for him to enter and insult me. He wants to pull the strings, and soon I might lose my sanity. It's 4 a.m. and I'm trying to distract myself from him. It's the only thing I can do to possibly stay sane. I can't get antipsychotics due to conflicts with my epilepsy medication. All I can do is grin and bear it. Wake up every morning at 11 with his voice still quietly beating my brain. Things will get better by 2, as I'll be more awake and kind of stable. My boss will yell at me, like always, for being 10 minutes late. That's when the paranoia and voice return. You can't do anything right. They hate you. You fucked up again, just like always. They're watching you. Stop looking at me. The others will probably think I'm insane, since I'm sweating and my eyes are rapidly looking all over the place. What else can I do though? I have no more options. I can only listen and get mentally annihilated. I looked at my clock. Done thinking about how the day is going to play out. It's 6 a.m. and the sun is rising. Looks like it's time for you to wake up. And time for me to escape my hell. Freakshow before Halloween. Posted by Dependent Ad 87493. By the time you're reading this, I'm long gone. I don't have much time left. My name is Frederick Joshua. I'm 22 years old and I recently went through a freak show. Let me tell you my story. It was the day before Halloween. I was picking up some candy for the trick-or-treaters. I picked candy corn, Reese's, Hershey's, etc. So when I went to check out, I thought I could see a robotic hand in one of the aisles. I looked and yeah, it was a robotic hand. Just as I noticed this, it moved away from my sight. I shrugged it off as some costume. So I checked out and got into my car. At this point I was kind of paranoid. Then I heard tapping on my car window. I looked and saw a very scary and demented person with red hair, pixelated particles coming out of him. He broke my window. I was about to scream when it spoke. "No need to fear me. I'm just here to warn you," it said. What, warn me? About what? I said to the demented person. "Every day before Halloween, 3 people hunt down their bounties, and you are their chosen one." What do I do? "Get out of here while you still can." As he said that, I heard yelling and looked, and there were 3 people. One with red hair, one with silver hair, and one with a plastic mask on. He looked at them and turned back at me quickly and yelled, "Go, now, before it's too late." I started my engine and got out of there. I went to my house and started to pack my things. My dog, which was a golden retriever, greeted me when I got home, so I didn't want to leave him behind. After I got done packing, I put my dog, which his name is Henry, in my car as well. I was putting my laptop and Nintendo Switch in my backpack when I heard glass breaking. I quietly went to my bedroom door and locked it. I heard some girl say, "I know you're here. We just want to have fun with you." I was panicking. God, what should I do? Should I jump out the window? Run past them? What if they have a weapon though? I guess I'm gonna jump out the window. I thought. I opened my window and jumped out. Something fell off. I looked and it was some tracker. I remembered one of my friends had an experience which was similar to this. He was going for a walk when he encountered both the demented person and the red hair girl, which I'll name her Pyra, since that's what she looks like, kind of. Enough backstory. I got into my car, put my backpack in the back seat, started the engine and drove off. I got to a motel near my boyfriend's town and slept there for a few days. But I did celebrate Halloween during my stay at the motel. So, if you're chosen as the 3 people's bounty, find the tracker, rip it out, and run. And that's it for tonight, my little hellhounds. Thanks for listening. If you've enjoyed tonight's scary stories, then don't forget to subscribe and click the like button. Also, click the bell icon so you get notified every time I upload. If you have any scary stories that you want narrated on the channel, then submit them to Reddit r/homeofscares and follow me on Twitter at homeofscares. Now, good night, my little hellhounds.